really have a European Union. But the European Union that exists is dominated by finance capital. Now, do you welcome a European Union dominated by finance capital? Or do we think in terms of, or do you think in terms of breaking out of this European Union because it is dominated by finance capital? Now, the European left has no answer to this, and most of them would say that, okay, let us have a European Union, even if it is dominated by finance capital, because any breakup of it might actually give rise to a revival of nationalism, which is reactionary. Now, I think in countries like ours, again, the same kind of argument is often put forward, that look, any idea of breaking away from this globalization is bringing huge miseries to the people, to the workers and peasants and petty producers and so on. But any idea of breaking out of this globalization is fraught with the danger that there would be a revival of nationalism, which is reactionary. I believe that's a wrong argument. It's a completely wrong argument, because the most reactionary nationalists in India today are the ones who are for globalization, that is the Modian crowd. The reactionary nationalism in India today is the one that is actually kind of prostrating itself before world capital, before global capital, inviting it to India, make in India and all that kind of stuff. So in India today, the votaries of neoliberal capitalism are in fact the reactionary nationalism. Anti-colonial, anti-imperialist nationalism cannot be reactionary as long as it's authentically anti-imperialist. And to the extent that anti-imperialist nationalism or any anti-imperialist measure, including delinking from globalization to the extent necessary, so that a state supported by the workers and peasants can be set up, that can actually have an alternative economic strategy that goes beyond neoliberal capitalism and moves towards socialism. Any such move, even though it breaks away from the bourgeois internationalism that is globalization, even though it breaks away from bourgeois internationalism, it is not in fact a retreat into reactionary nationalism, any more than the freedom struggle was a retreat into reactionary nationalism. Therefore, this is actually another way in which an effort is made by globalized finance to foreclose any resistance to it. And large segments of the left are in fact get taken in by it. Where they do not, the left has done very well. I mean, Jeremy Corbyn, in Britain, the fascist party, UKIP, had actually got 11% of votes, not in the last election, but the one before that. But Jeremy Corbyn came with a clear left-wing agenda, and the UKIP's vote share fell from 11 to 2%. Similarly, in the United States, where there was a very clear left agenda which was put forward by Bernie Sanders, he could even have defeated this man Trump, but he was getting substantial support as far as the workers are concerned. So it's very important now for the left to actually come forward with a clear left agenda and on the basis of it form a worker-peasant alliance, recognize the havoc that is being wreaked by globalization, be prepared to de-link the economy to the extent necessary from globalization so that a new state based on workers and peasants can actually undertake an alternative set of policies beyond doing neoliberalism. So the opportunities are immense, but of course we have to shake off within our minds all the restraints that prevent us from taking advantage of these opportunities.